Now, tens of thousands of people in Hong Kong are taking part in a New Year's Day march. Police have approved the latest rally and called for it to remain peaceful. Demonstrators' demands include greater autonomy from China and an inquiry into police brutality. Well, the protests started back in June in response to a now scrapped extradition bill. Divya Gopalan is there and she joins us live. Divya, huge numbers of people on the streets of Hong Kong. How are things looking where you are?
That's right, Hala. Just purely on optics, it seems like this is going to be one of the biggest protests so far in those 7 months of protest. This is the first of the year. Now, this January protest is actually an pro-democracy and annual protest that is held. They're usually large numbers, but this year it'll surpass recent years. What we're seeing behind me are people walking towards the destination. The start of the march is about a couple of kilometers behind me there at a park, but we're also seeing people walk towards the park because they want to be counted in this protest. What the government usually does is just count people who are leaving the venue rather than the people who join the march. So they're sending a very strong message saying that they want to make sure that the government hears their voice and starts getting ready for some kind of dialogue. The concessions that people here on the march are asking for, along what you said, is more universal suffrage, more democracy, China, less interference from China, but also an investigation into what they're saying is excessive force used by the police over the past 7 months. They're also calling for police not to get a pay rise that they're due this year, saying that the police need to be investigated in what they're calling alleged police brutality. So who's taking part in these protests? Well, you're seeing people from all walks of life here, young and old, families, even young children, not the people you normally see during those spontaneous protests that have been taking place almost daily over the past 7 months, including last night, where we saw some violent clashes as protesters clashed with riot police yet again. We're also seeing trade unions. This time we're seeing industries organize themselves so they can recruit people who want to be part of the protest but don't want to be punished by their companies, which has been happening over the past few months. So it seems like there's a much more organized force we're seeing on the streets today. And along with that, we're seeing this, the organizers are saying that 2020 is the year of resistance, once again sending a message that 2020 for Hong Kong looks set to be another year of protests.
It's certainly, well, we have had more than 6 months of protests now, Divya. How much longer do the protesters think they can sustain this pressure?
Well, you know, it's surprising, Hala, because when it first started, many people thought that, you know, it's a flash in the pan. It'll last through the summer when the students who have been largely pushing this movement and the young people go back to school or go back to their jobs, the protest would fizzle, but it hasn't. In fact, it gained intensity for a while, the violence increased, and even with that, we saw more public support for the protesters because they saw the government not listening to what they want, largely ignoring them, and they also saw the police pushing back or pushing down against the protesters. There have been 6,000 arrests since then, thousands of rounds of tear gas fired. So, you know, it's hard to tell how long they can sustain it, but if we go by the energy, what we're seeing today, it looks like this will continue until the government actually opens some kind of dialogue. The chief executive, meanwhile, has said that she does recognize it's been a year of anguish for Hong Kong. It's been a hard year, and then she will try to listen to them humbly, whether that makes any difference or not, or whether they follow through on that promise. You know, so far we haven't seen them make any moves to appease the protesters. So until then, it seems like these protests will continue. Hard to tell how long they can sustain this, but, you know, the energy we're seeing seems like it is sustainable.
OK, Divya Gopalan there, live for us in Hong Kong. Thank you.